is the Celebrity Afterlife Report podcast.
Hi, and welcome once again to the Celebrity Afterlife Report, an ongoing roundup of all the latest gossip about your favorite deceased celebrities, direct from the next world. I am the celebrity medium. Over the past few weeks, Steve Jobs, the former chairman of Apple, has had a lot to say about the current direction and management of the company he used to run, and none of it was very complimentary. At the risk of turning this podcast into the Steve Jobs Report, I have some more information about what he's up to. Or at least this time he isn't bitching about what Apple is doing. I mentioned a few weeks ago that Steve had a project called iVironment in the works. According to a source who spoke to him recently about it, we now have some information about exactly what iVironment is going to be. In my previous story, I told you that Steve feels that the always sunny climate of the next world is boring and too predictable. My source, who has seen the blueprints for iVironment, says that when completed, it will be a building about the size of a blimp hangar that people can visit to experience alternate climates, including snow, rain, and even thunder and windstorms. Steve told my source that many afterlife residents he has spoken to say that they miss the variety of weather on the earthly plane, and he feels there is a big demand for something like iVironment. The master plan for the project apparently calls for special climate event days so that attendees can decide exactly what kind of weather they want to experience. Now, given Jobs' success with technology in the past, I wouldn't bet against iVironment being very popular with people in the next world. Death hasn't slowed Joan Rivers down a bit, according to my afterlife sources. Last week I told you about her new show, Street Style with Joan, on which she critiques random people she finds on the street in the next world. The first episode of the show aired this past week, and Ms. Rivers is up to her old tricks, taking aim at her usual targets. While commenting on one pretty young woman's fashion sense, Joan quipped, "You look like a young Liz Taylor, before all her clothes had Goodyear printed on the side." Taylor was a frequent target of Joan's jokes when they were both on the earthly plane, and afterlife gossip columns are claiming that Liz is still not amused by the barbs. It should be noted that in the next world, everyone looks as they did at their adult best, so Liz is not overweight these days, but apparently she is still touchy about her former weight issues. In response, Joan has offered a permanent co-host spot on Street Style to Liz. It is rumored that Taylor is, shall we say, less than receptive to the offer. Asked by a reporter if she plans on pulling back on her insults to celebrities, Joan responded, "Why should I? That act got me where I am today. By the way, where the hell am I?" It's been a while since we heard anything about Kurt Cobain and Anna Nicole Smith. Now, months ago, I reported that the two were happily engaged and planning on a big wedding. The wrench in the works was J. Howard Marshall, who you may remember as the very elderly man Anna Nicole was married to on the earthly plane. As soon as Kurt and Anna's engagement was announced to the public, Mr. Marshall turned up, referring to her as his wife, and loudly proclaiming to anyone who would listen that he would do anything and everything to prevent her from marrying Cobain. Now, just so you understand, people in the next world are free to be with anyone they want. No one is obligated to stay with the person they were with on Earth. J. Howard Marshall doesn't see it that way, however. He has been turning up everywhere Kurt and Anna Nicole go, making a public scene. Word is that Kurt is very frustrated by all this, despite his love for the voluptuous former model. Friends have reported that the stress is putting a strain on their relationship. Marshall has even gone so far as to take out full-page ads in some of the Afterlife newspapers begging Anna Nicole to come back to him. As a result, Cobain and Smith have dropped out of sight in recent days, with rumors circulating that they had a secret wedding ceremony with only a handful of friends in attendance, as opposed to the big showy wedding Anna Nicole had wanted. This is a story we will be following in the coming weeks. Speaking of celebrities who have been forced to keep a low profile in the next world, as I reported months ago, Elvis Presley got so tired of being hounded by his fans that he was forced to shave his head to alter his appearance. Even so, once word got out about his new look, fans managed to track down the king and annoy him with constant questions about when he was going to perform again. According to my sources, Elvis has finally figured out a way to preserve his privacy while, hopefully, satisfying his fans. Presley has decided to let the late Andy Kaufman impersonate him on an upcoming concert tour. When they were both on the earthly plane, Elvis referred to Andy as his all-time favorite impersonator, and he has told friends that if he has to do something to make his fans happy, there's no one other than Kaufman he would consider to play him on stage. Andy is said to be ecstatic about the opportunity to perform as his favorite singer and has been rehearsing 8 hours a day to perfect the Elvis look and sound. On the concert tour, he will be referred to as Elvis 2. There will be no attempt to fool anyone into thinking he is really Presley, apparently. There is a rumor, however, that Andy's doppelganger, Tony Clifton, will be the opening act, although that is not yet confirmed officially. Okay, gang, that's it for this edition of the Celebrity Afterlife Report. Please join me next week when I return with another installment of up-to-the-moment gossip about all your favorite deceased celebs. I am the Celebrity Medium. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to the Celebrity Afterlife Report podcast. To ask a question about your favorite deceased celebrity, call 818-3-MY-DREAM. 818-3-MY-DREAM. 818-369-3732.